August 29th, 1936. How to avoid misery. Has misery a shape? Misery is only unwanted thought. The mind is not strong enough to resist misery. But how to gain such strength of mind to resist? By worship of God. Meditation of God, of immanence, is hard to understand. Leave God alone. Hold yourself. How to do japa? It is of two kinds, gross and subtle. The subtle form of japa is meditation on it, the sound, and this purifies and strengthens the mind. But the mind does not get steady for meditation. It is due to lack of strength. A Gujarati gentleman asked Sri Bhagavan, "They say that choice is offered us to enjoy merits or demerits after our death. Their succession will be according to our choice. Is this so? Why raise these questions relating to events after death? Why ask, was I born? Am I reaping fruits of my past karma? And other such things. They will not be raised some time from now when you fall asleep. Are you now different from the one in sleep? You are not. Why do these questions arise now and not in sleep? This you must find out." A middle-aged, frail-looking man came with a walking stick in his hand, placed it before Bhagavan, bowed low, and sat near Maharshi. He got up and with great humility offered the stick to Bhagavan, saying it was sandalwood. Sri Bhagavan told him to keep it for himself, since nothing of Bhagavan's can be safeguarded. Being common property but coveted by some, it may be taken away by any visitor, with or without Bhagavan's permission. Then the donor may be displeased. But the man humbly insisted. Sri Bhagavan could not resist his supplications and said, "Keep it yourself as prasad from Bhagavan." The man then requested that the stick might first be taken and then given to him by Sri Bhagavan with blessings. Sri Bhagavan received it, smelled it, and said it was fine, and nodded and handed it back to the man, saying, "Keep it. It will make you always remember me." A Maharani Sahiba spoke in a gentle and low voice, but quite audibly. He said, "Maharaji, I have the good fortune to see you. My eyes have had the pleasure of seeing you, my ears the pleasure of hearing your voice. I am blessed with everything that a human being could have." Her Highness's voice choked. With great strength of mind, she rallied and proceeded slowly. "I have all that I want, that a human being could want, but I do not have peace of mind. Something prevents it, probably my destiny." There was silence for a few minutes. Then Maharshi, in his usual sweet manner, spoke. All right, what need be said has been said. Well, what is destiny? There is no destiny. Surrender, and all will be well. Throw all responsibility onto God. Do not bear the burden yourself. What can destiny do to you then? But surrender is impossible. Yes, complete surrender is impossible in the beginning. Partial surrender is certainly possible for all. In the course of time, that will lead to complete surrender. And if surrender is impossible, what can be done? There is no peace of mind, you say. And you say you are helpless to bring it about. And it can only be done through surrender. But partial surrender, can it undo destiny? Oh yes, it can. Is not destiny due to past karma? If one is surrendered to God, God will see to it. But this being God's dispensation, how does God undo it? All are in Him only. How is God to be seen? Within. If the mind is turned inward, God manifests as inner consciousness. Well, God is in all and in all objects we see around us, and they say we should see God in all of them. God is in all and in the seer. Where else can God be seen? God cannot be found outside. He should be felt within. To see the objects, mind is necessary. To conceive God in them is a mental operation, but that is not real. The consciousness within, purged of the mind, is felt as God. Well, there are, they say, beautiful colors. It is a pleasure to watch them. We can see God in them. They are all mental conceptions. There are more than colors. I mention colors only as an example. All of these objects are similarly mental. There is no body, senses, or mind. It seems the soul makes use of all of these for knowing things. The objects or feelings or thoughts are all mental conceptions. The mind rises after the rise of the I thought or ego. Wherefrom does the ego rise? From the abstract consciousness or pure intelligence? Is it the soul? Soul, mind, or ego are mere words. There are no entities of the kind. Consciousness is the only truth. Then that consciousness cannot give any pleasure? The very nature of consciousness is bliss, and bliss alone is. There is no enjoyer to enjoy pleasure. Enjoyer and joy both merge in it. But there is pleasure and pain in the ordinary life. Should we not remain with only pleasure? Pleasure consists in turning and keeping the mind within. Pain in sending it outward. There is only happiness or bliss, not pleasure. for absence of pleasure is called pain. One's nature is the true pleasure, the real happiness and bliss. But is it the soul? Soul and God are only mental conceptions. So is God only a mental conception? Yes. Do you think of God in sleep? But sleep is a state of dullness. If God is real, he must remain always. You remain in sleep and in wakefulness just the same. If God is as true as yourself, God must be in sleep as well as the self. This thought of God arises only in the wakeful state. But who thinks it now? I think. Who is this I? Who says it? Is it the body? Well, the body speaks. The body does not speak. If so, did it speak in sleep? Who is this I? I within the body? Are you within the body or without? I am certainly within the body. Do you know it to be so in your sleep? I remain in my body in sleep also. Are you aware of being within the body in sleep? No, for sleep is a state of dullness. Well, the fact is, you are neither within nor without. Sleep is the natural state of being. Then sleep must be a better state than this. There is no superior or inferior state. In sleep and dream and in the wakeful state, you are just the same. Sleep is a state of happiness. There is no misery. The sense of want and of pain and such things arise only in the wakeful state. So what is the change that has taken place? You are the same in both sleep and wakefulness, but there is a difference in happiness. Why? Because the mind has risen now. This mind rises after the I thought. The I thought arises from consciousness. If one abides in it, one is always happy. The sleep state is the state when the mind is quiet. I consider it a worse state. If that were so, why do you all desire sleep? It is the body when tired that goes to sleep. Does the body sleep? Yes, it is the condition in which the wear and tear of the body is repaired. Let it be so. But does the body itself sleep or wake up? You yourself said shortly before that the mind is quiet in sleep, and the three states are of the mind. Are they not states of the soul functioning through the senses? They are not of the soul or of the body. The soul remains always uncontaminated. It is the same as the Atma. It is the substratum running through all these three states. Wakefulness passes off, I am. The dream state passes off, I am. The sleep state passes off, I am. They repeat themselves, and yet I am remains. They are like pictures moving on the screen in a cinema show. They do not affect the screen. In a similar way, I remain unaffected all through these states as they pass If it is of the body, are you aware of the body in sleep? No. Without knowing the body to be there, how can the body be said to be in sleep? Because it is still found after waking up. The sense of body is a thought. The thought is of the mind. The mind rises after the I thought. The I thought is the root thought. If that root thought is held, the other thoughts will disappear. There will then be no body, no mind, not even the ego. What will remain then? The self in its purity. How can the mind be made to vanish? No attempt is made to destroy it. The think or wish it is itself a thought. If a thinker is sought, the thoughts will disappear. But will they disappear of themselves? Looks very difficult. The thoughts will disappear because they are unreal. The idea of difficulty is itself an obstacle to realization. It must be overcome. To remain as the self is not difficult. Well, it looks easy to think of God in the external world, whereas it seems difficult to remain without thoughts. That is absurd. To look at other things is easy, and to look within is difficult. It must be the very opposite. But I do not understand. It is very difficult. The very thought of difficulty is the chief obstacle. A little practice will make you think differently. What is the sadhana, the spiritual practice? To find out the source of I. So again, that was the state before one's birth. Why should one think of birth and death? Are you really born? The rising of the mind is called birth. After mind, the body thought arises and the body is seen. Then the thought of birth, the state before birth, and death, and the state after death. All these are only of the mind. Whose is the birth? Am I not now born? So long as the body is considered, birth is real, but the body is not I. Atman, the self, is not born, nor does it die. There is nothing new. The sages see everything as being in and of the self, and there is no diversity in it. Therefore, there is neither birth nor death. But if sleep is such a good state, why does not one like to be in it always? One is always only in sleep. The present waking state is no more than a dream. Dream can take place only in sleep. Sleep is underlying these three states. Manifestation of these three states is again a dream, which is in turn another sleep. In this way, these states of dream and sleep are endless. Similar to these states, birth and death are also dreams in sleep. Realistically speaking, there is no birth and death.